Hello, English learners, and welcome. I'm your host, Paul. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you. Excited to chat about English learning today. Today we're really getting into how to speak English, well, more clearly and with more confidence.
That's right. We've been looking at some material from an English learning podcast. Really good stuff.
Yeah, and our mission today is basically to pull out the best bits, the most, practical steps to help you, our listeners, communicate better, feel more assured when you're speaking English.
And it's interesting right off the bat how much clarity and confidence kind of feed each other.
Okay, let's dig into that.
Yep.
We all know about vocab, grammar, but why clarity? Why confidence? Are they really that big a deal?
Oh, absolutely. Huge. Think about clarity. It's the bedrock, isn't it, of being understood.
Right.
If people can't quite catch what you're saying, maybe it's pronunciation, maybe mumbling.
Yeah.
Well, even if your grammar's spot on, the message just gets lost.
Yeah.
Or, fuzzy.
And that leads to frustration, I guess, for both sides.
Exactly. Confusion, frustration, clarity makes that connection possible.
Okay, makes sense. Like having a great idea stuck behind a locked door. Now, confidence, we know it feels better, obviously, but how does it actually change things for the listener?
Well, confidence really shapes how natural you sound, how fluent you seem.
Even if you're still learning.
Yes, exactly. If you hesitate a lot or sound nervous,
Yeah.
people might, maybe unfairly, think your English isn't as good as it actually is.
Ah, so it's about perception.
Definitely. There's this psychological thing. Confident speakers, even, with a few small mistakes here and there, they often come across as more competent, more trustworthy even.
Wow. So your delivery kind of projects competence, even if it's not technically perfect.
You got it. And that's where this positive cycle kicks in.
Positive cycle.
Yeah. Do you speak confidently? People understand you better. They react positively.
Mm.
And that positive reaction, it boosts your confidence for next time. It just builds like an upward spiral.
I like that. An upward spiral. Okay, thinking back. Learning languages is tough. What are the usual bumps in the road here? What holds people back from being clear and confident?
Well, the source material we looked at points to a few key things. Pronunciation, that's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds that just don't exist in your native language. They can be really tricky.
Like the sound.
The classic D in think, yeah. Or maybe distinguishing R and L, like in right and light, that kind of thing.
Right.
And if you don't practice those specific sounds, well, the difficulty can just stick around, become a habit.
Feels like trying to flex a muscle you didn't know you had.
Yeah.
What else messes with clarity?
Mumbling. That's another common one.
Just not speaking up.
Yeah, speaking too softly or maybe not opening your mouth enough, really forming the words. The source even called it swallowing words.
Swallowing words.
Yeah, like the ends of words just disappear or whole syllables get mushed together. The full sound doesn't come out.
I can picture that. Words getting stuck halfway. What about speed? Does talking fast hurt clarity?
It definitely can. Sometimes people rush. Maybe they're nervous or they think speaking fast sounds fluent.
Uh-huh.
But often it just makes things less clear because you're not articulating properly. It kind of backfires.
Right. Counterintuitive, slowing down might actually make you sound more in control.
Exactly.
Easier to follow.
And there's the big one. Just feeling confident enough to speak at all.
That's huge. The fear of making mistakes. It can make you hesitate or, avoid speaking opportunities. Or speak super quietly.
Yeah, I've been there.
But the source makes a great point. Mistakes are totally normal, a natural part of learning any language. Even native speakers mess up sometimes.
So true. Okay, so we've got the challenges. Pronunciation, mumbling, speed, confidence. Now let's get practical. What can listeners actually do to get clearer?
Okay, first step, maybe the most fundamental. Really listen. Actively listen.
How so?
Make super close attention to how native speakers pronounce things. In podcasts, or audiobooks, movies, real conversations.
Focus on the specific sounds, but also the rhythm, the intonation. Train your ear first.
Like building an auditory map in your head.
Okay.
What builds on that listening?
Shadowing. It's a great technique.
Shadowing. Explain that.
You basically mimic a native speaker immediately after you hear them. Like you hear a phrase, you repeat it right away.
Oh, okay.
And you really try to copy their pronunciation, their rhythm, their intonation, exactly as you heard it.
Like being a parrot for a second.
Kind of, but a very focused parrot. Start with short bits, then build up to longer sentences. The source mentioned it actually helps your brain kind of rewire for new sounds.
Interesting, like creating a shortcut. Okay, what about tackling those really specific problem sounds?
Right. Targeted practice, you need that. Use things like YouTube videos specifically on English pronunciation. Loads of great ones out there.
Yeah, YouTube's amazing for that.
Online dictionaries with audio are fantastic too.
Yeah.
Hear the word, say the word, and believe it or not, tongue twisters.
Ah, tongue twisters like she sells seashells.
Exactly. She sells seashells by the seashore. Peter Piper picked a peck. They're like little workouts for your mouth muscles. They really help train you for specific sound combinations.
Frustratingly fun, yeah. Okay, so we're listening, we're shattering, we're drilling sounds. What about when we actually speak? Any adjustments there?
Yes. A big one is consciously slowing down. Just a bit.
We talked about rushing.
Exactly. Rushing kills clarity. So, make an effort to speak slightly more slowly. It gives you time to form the words right and gives your listener time to process.
Feels unnatural at first, maybe.
Maybe a little, yeah. But the clarity improvement is usually pretty dramatic.
Good tip. What else?
Record yourself, use your phone, whatever.
Oh, listen back. Cringe.
Ha. Yeah, it can feel weird at first,
Yeah.
but it's so valuable. You hear things you don't notice while you're speaking, unclear bits, mumbling.
Mm-hmm.
And the source suggests comparing your recording to a native speaker saying maybe the same thing. Helps you pinpoint where to improve.
That objective feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably very revealing.
Yeah.
Okay, one more for clarity. Something physical. Super simple, but effective. Open your mouth more when you talk.
Just open
Yeah.
wider.
Mumbling often happens because we're not moving our lips and jaw enough, not giving the sound space to come out clearly. So consciously focus on a bit more movement, better articulation.
Okay, so the clarity toolkit.
Mm-hmm.
Listen actively, shadow, targeted practice, slow down, record yourself, open your mouth.
Mm.
Got it. Great list. Now, confidence, that other crucial piece.
Right, because clear speech without confidence, it still feels difficult. So building confidence, the absolute foundation, according to the source, practice, daily practice.
Every single day.
Even just 5 or 10 minutes, seriously. And a great way is just talking to yourself in English.
Talking to yourself, like out loud.
Yeah. Describe your room, narrate what you're doing, talk about your plans. Just get used to the act of producing English sounds and sentences without any pressure or judgment.
Creates a safe space to just try things out. I like that. What else?
Try to think in English more.
Instead of translating in your head. Exactly, that mental translation step. It slows you down, makes you hesitate. It can really chip away at confidence. Try to form the thoughts directly in English. Train your brain to operate in English mode.
Makes sense. Bypass the middleman. Okay, we mentioned recording yourself for clarity. How does that help confidence?
Well, listening back, you might actually surprise yourself.
How so?
Learners are often their own worst critics, right? You listen back objectively and you might realize, hey, I actually sound better than I thought. That realization can be a real confidence booster.
That's a great point. We're often too hard on ourselves. What about our physical presence? Does that play into confidence?
Definitely. Try practicing in front of a mirror.
Talking to the mirror feels a bit odd.
It can, yeah. But watch yourself. Your body language, your facial expressions. Are you making eye contact with yourself? Good posture? Using gestures? It all helps you feel more assured and project that confidence.
So it's the whole package, not just the words.
Okay.
What about actually talking to, real people?
Crucial. Absolutely essential for real-world confidence. Find opportunities. Language exchange partners, tutors, friends. Anyone you can have a real conversation with.
Getting comfortable with that back and forth.
Exactly. The spontaneity, the unexpected questions. Navigating that builds serious confidence for using English out there in the world.
But what if finding people locally is hard?
Great question. Use online resources. The source really highlighted this. There are tons of apps, online speaking groups. They connect you with learners and native speakers globally.
So you can practice from home.
Yeah, often in a pretty supportive, low-pressure setting, too. Great way to ease into it.
Fantastic resource. Okay, final point on confidence. Any mindset shifts that help?
Yes, a really important one. Stop comparing yourself to others.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
It is. But everyone learns differently, at their own pace. Your journey is unique. Focus on your progress. Celebrate your small wins. Did you understand something new? Use a new word. That's progress. Comparing just breeds discouragement.
Such a good reminder. Focus on your own lane. Okay, so for confidence, practice daily, even talking to yourself. Think in English, use recordings positively, practice with a mirror, talk to real people, online or offline, and don't compare. Awesome advice. Now, Let's get even more practical. Specific exercises people can do, like today.
Okay, let's run through some exercises from the source.
Hmm.
First, back to shadowing. Grab a short audio clip, podcast, video, whatever. Listen once, then immediately repeat it. Try to perfectly match the sounds, the rhythm, the intonation. Do it a few times.
Be a vocal mimic. Got it. Next.
Reading aloud. Simple but effective. Pick an article, song lyrics, a book paragraph, read it out loud. Focus on clear pronunciation, yes, but also on the intonation, that up and down melody of English. Make it sound natural, not robotic.
Good for practicing flow. Okay, another one.
Try acting out dialogues. Find a short scene, maybe from a movie script online or a textbook dialogue. Read the different parts out loud, put some emotion into it.
Get theatrical.
A little. Helps connect you to the language, makes it feel more alive. Practice different tones.
Cool. And the recording exercise, how to structure that.
Right. Pick a simple topic, your breakfast, weekend plans, whatever. Speak about it for 1 minute. Record it.
Okay.
Then listen back. Specifically note down, where was clarity maybe a bit weak? Where did you hesitate or sound less confident? Then record yourself again on the same topic, but this time consciously try to improve those specific things you noted.
Targeted self-correction.
Nice. And the mirror exercise.
Dance around that mirror, pick a topic,
Yeah.
talk for a minute or two,
Yeah.
watch yourself, your face, your posture, eye contact, how your mouth moves. It's about awareness of your nonverbal communication while speaking English.
Real-time visual feedback.
Okay.
Tongue twisters as an exercise.
Yep. Pick one or two tricky ones. Repeat them several times. Focus on accuracy over speed. Really articulate each sound. It's like a mouth warm-up. Drills those specific, difficult sounds.
Good warm-up. Okay, final exercise. Impromptu speaking. This is great for fluency and thinking on your feet. Set a timer 1 minute, 2 minutes. Pick a totally random topic. Your favorite color, a news item, a hobby, anything.
No prep.
No prep. Just start talking about it until the timer rings. It forces you to access your English quickly, naturally, builds confidence in just speaking.
Love that. Gets you used to real conversation randomness. Okay, amazing list. Shadowing, reading aloud, acting dialogues, recording, analyzing, mirror work, tongue twisters, impromptu speaking. Loads to try, but how do we keep going? Stay motivated long term.
Motivation. The long game. The source stressed, celebrating small wins, really stressed it.
Don't overlook the little things.
Exactly. Acknowledge every tiny step forward. Understood a joke. Used a new phrase correctly. Didn't panic ordering coffee. Celebrate it. It fuels you.
Good point. What else keeps the motivation engine running?
Set realistic goals. Smart goals,
Yeah.
Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound.
Not just get fluent someday.
Right. More like practice speaking 15 minutes 3 times this week. Or learn 5 new phrasal verbs by Friday. Smaller chunks feel achievable, give you that sense of accomplishment.
Breaks it down. Makes sense. And keeping it fun.
Crucial. Integrate English into stuff you actually enjoy. Watch movies you like with subtitles first, then maybe without. Listen to music, find language games. If it feels like fun, not a chore, you'll stick with it.
Blend it into your life. Good advice. What about connecting with others? Does that help motivation?
Hugely. Find a community. Friends learning too. Online forums, language exchange partners.
Why does that help so much?
Shared journey. Camaraderie, mutual support, encouragement. Maybe even a little friendly competition. It makes it less lonely, more engaging.
That shared experience.
Yeah.
Powerful. Okay, last piece on motivation. The mindset.
Reframe mistakes. This is fundamental. Stop seeing them as failures.
See them as
Learning opportunities. Seriously. Every mistake shows you something you need to work on. It's feedback. The more you speak, the more mistakes you'll make, and honestly, the faster you'll learn. Embrace them. Be curious, not fearful.
shift from fear to feedback. Love it. Okay, so motivation keys. Celebrate wins, set smart goals, make it fun, find community, embrace mistakes. Awesome.
Absolutely. So just to quickly wrap up what we've covered, we looked at why clarity and confidence are so vital in English.
The foundation and the delivery.
We talked about common hurdles, pronunciation, mumbling, speed, fear.
Right?
Then we dove into practical techniques for improving clarity
Listening, shadowing, slowing down.
and for building confidence.
Daily practice, thinking in English, mirror work.
We gave a whole bunch of specific exercises you can try literally today.
Yeah, really actionable stuff.
And finally, how to keep that motivation going for the long haul.
Fantastic. It's been a really thorough deep dive. And I think the takeaway is, consistent effort, staying positive, being willing to just try. That's what really unlocks your speaking potential.
Couldn't agree more.
So here's a final thought for everyone listening. Think about just one technique we discussed today. Maybe it's slowing down a bit, maybe it's trying shadowing for 5 minutes. How could focusing on that one thing change how you feel about speaking English just this week? What's one small step you'll actually commit to? Something to mull over as you keep learning.
Great thought to end on. Well, that brings this deep dive to a close. Thanks for tuning in.